Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it's actually late. It is 7:38 p.m. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make a video. This is my last video of the day to make. So I was like, you know, I did my meditations early this morning. I actually have 4 books that I didn't read from today. I read, I think it was 2 other meditations, random books that I haven't read for a long time. This one about the soul, I think my mother gave me the book. So anyway, I've read it a couple times on here, The Soul's Purpose or something like that. But anyway, so I wasn't going to make a video. And then I happened to open an email that I got. And it was from somebody, and they were like, you know, I found you on your drama channel. I watch your vlog. I watch your book channel. But your Peterisms channel is my favorite. And every day I like listen to what you have to say, and it really helps me. And I thought, you know what, like, that's the reason why I do this channel, is just to pass on the things that I've heard for other people to hear them, that maybe it's relatable to somebody else. Nothing that I say on this video is original. They're all things I've learned from other people or things that I read in a book. It's just nothing original. And the fact that so many people respond to that in a positive way just makes me so happy. So I was like, you know what, Peter, you can sit down for 10 minutes. You can record a video. You probably need to hear whatever meditation is coming your way too. So, and I think it's a really good lesson, not just for me, but, you know, maybe for other people too, that when we think like, you know, I was thinking last night a lot about, I talked to my vlog a lot about my spiritual foundation, my spiritual connectedness to the world, you know, and my higher power and things like that. And that my emotional sobriety and you know, just how I feel on a day-to-day basis, my peace and serenity is directly related to what I am doing, you know, on a meditative spiritual level. And what that means for me is, you know, if I'm not taking time to pray, if I'm not taking time to meditate, if I'm not taking time to journal, if I'm not taking time to do, and I don't journal a lot, but if I'm not taking time to do a gratitude list, you know, or do affirmations, or read affirmations, or do a visual imagery, or whatever it is, if I'm not taking that time to do that, I'm ultimately the one that's going to suffer. And how long does it take me to do that? It takes me 5 or 10 minutes, you know? So I don't know, maybe I just needed to get on this video today to hold myself accountable for that, you know, that if I'm not doing those things, I actually think I talked about that a couple days ago on here too, that, you know, like, if I distance myself from those things that I need to do, which really don't take any time at all, then, you know, like, I'm the one that's going to suffer. I'm the one that's not going to have the peace and the serenity in my life. And, you know, when I open my metaphysical toolbox, so to speak, those tools that I have in there, right, are peace, serenity, you know, inventory, gratitude lists, gratitude, the action of, you know, kind words, a smile, you know, a hug, you know, those kinds of things. Those are my tools in my toolbox today. But if I'm not putting those tools in my toolbox, they're not going to be there when I need them. And, you know, God knows what's going to happen, that I'm not going to have those tools there for me. So I think that, you know, like, if I hadn't had those tools in my toolbox when my mother passed away, you know, I think things would have been 10 times worse than they were. I went numb for a really long time. But then, you know, I worked so hard on things that when my aunt and my uncle passed away, and I had some really, really close friends that passed away in between that, you know, I was prepared for it. I did have those tools in the toolbox when those tragic things happened, and I was ready to, you know, go on with life, you know, and be able to not move on, but to move through it, you know, in a peaceful, serene way. And I was also able to be present for other people, you know, and not make it about me. And it didn't have to be about me. It was about me being able to, you know, show up and be there for other people. And so, you know, today, I just, that 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 5 minutes, however long, is just vital to me. Even if it's just turning the music off in my car and driving in total silence on my, you know, like if you're driving to work, right? And you just turn the music off, you turn everything off, and you just sit there in silence for a second, and you just, I don't know, say some positive things. If you're not a spiritual person, you know, you just say some positive things. Today is going to be a good day. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that in my life. You don't have to be a spiritual or religious person to practice gratitude, you know? You can be like, I'm just so happy in my life that I have my home because it gives me a place to sleep and it gives me a place to live and shelter from the storm. You know, I'm so grateful that there's food on my table, you know, because there are people in the world that don't have food to eat, and I do, and I don't have to worry about that today. I'm so grateful for this friend or that family member. I'm so grateful for this opportunity or whatever. And so those are all tools, and you don't have to be a deeply spiritual or religious person. I think, you know, often when I talk about these spiritual things, people are like, oh, well, you have to have a higher power. No, you don't. don't. You don't have to have a higher power or anything to practice gratitude, you know? You can just, my dog's sitting right next to me, you know? I'm grateful for another day with my dog that, you know, is sick. I mean, one day he's not going to be here, and today he is, and he, you know, brings me so much joy, and I just fed the dog, and it's not my favorite part of the day, you know? But it's cute, and they need me, you know? And it's nice, and so, I don't know, it's like being grateful for those things. You know, my dogs love me unconditionally, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful for unconditional love. There's so many things that you can find to be grateful for on a daily basis. And that doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, thank you to whatever higher power you have. It can just be that. So, you know, this is a long intro, I know that. I'm almost at 6 minutes. But anytime that I think to myself, I don't have time to do this, you know, or like, you know, I just, you know, I have things I'd rather do right now or things that are better to do. And I'm not talking about making videos. I'm talking about actually sitting down and meditating, because there are mornings and there are evenings that I think to myself, oh, not today. And there are many mornings and evenings that I don't do it. I'm not a perfect specimen of this, right? Like, there are many mornings that I wake up and I think, I just want to go get my coffee today. You know, screw it. I'm not going to go and do my meditations. I'm not going to do my prayers today. It just doesn't matter. But there, you know, the mornings that I do, I'm more centered. I'm more balanced. And when I come home and I do, you know, a daily inventory of what my day was like, and, you know, all of that. And then when I do my prayers and my meditations in the evening, you know, and especially my gratitude list at the end of the day, it just makes a huge difference. And, you know, it's just a small thing. And I remember years ago seeing this video, and I saw it again, you know, probably 6 months ago when I started, well, a year ago when I started talking a lot about gratitude, about Oprah practicing gratitude on a daily basis and doing a gratitude journal. And she started crying on the show, and she talked about, you know, like, it was one of her aha moments. She never had any idea how much gratitude could change your life, you know? Well, how do you know how much you have, how full your life is, if you don't take inventory of how much you have been given and how thankful and grateful you are for what you have in response to what people don't? Because when you sit back and you take inventory of your life, or when I take inventory of my life and I look at all of the things that I have in my life, and I'm not talking about material things, but those two, the nice car, the nice bag, the nice hotel, the nice trip, all of those things, but then the simplistic things as well, just a moment with your dog or your husband or your child, you know? Late last night, I put up this video. I love Sarah Gilbert. So, you know, Sarah Gilbert was Darlene on Roseanne. I've watched Roseanne my entire time growing up, and, you know, she just left The View. And so earlier this week, The View put up on their channel this video. You can go to my Twitter. I linked it on my Twitter. But they put up this, and I put this, and then just the video. And it's it's Sarah Gilbert's daughter, with her partner Linda Perry, you know, the musician, and her daughter sings this song to Sarah Gilbert called Mama. And it's like one of those moments, like, I sat there and I was just like, this is what life is about right here, like this, you know, these moments. And it reminded me actually of, if you watched Roseanne, Darlene reads a poem at school, and Roseanne and Jackie go to hear it, and they're kind of laughing at the beginning, but then Darlene starts reading this poem, and Roseanne is like profoundly moved, you know? It's moments like that that you'll never get back again, you know? It's like, my nephew started first grade yesterday, and I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I remember when he was born, you know? Like, and I'm sitting there with my cousin's son last night at dinner, who's like my nephew, because, like, you know, I grew up with him. Like, my cousin and I are, like, you know, only siblings. He's 18, he's getting ready to go to college, he just graduated high school. I'm like, my God, life goes so quick. You know, you don't want to miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss these moments. They are so, so important, you know? And I'm actually not going to read a meditation today. This is taking a totally different direction, but I got a message from somebody, and on Twitter, I think. I'm going to talk about this. And she said that she watches my Peterisms videos, and she's really thankful for them, so thank you so much for the message. I will keep your name anonymous. But she said that her best friend has talked several years about moving, and she's not moving right now. She's going to move, you know, in a couple years, or something like 2 years. And that she really wants to be happy for her, but I so relate to this. She really wants to be happy for her, but she really, really is struggling with the idea of not having her close friend near her. And then what do you do in that situation, you know? So I don't think it's any mystery that my best friend is my friend Tanya, and she's been, you know, my heartstone for 22 years. And I adore my husband. I love my husband, but Tanya and I have something different than my husband and I have. My husband and I have a romantic passion, best friendship. My friend Tanya and I, it's different. Just like my husband has his best friend Sarah, you know, it's different. And, you know, I've known for a long time that she was going to move. We're going to move at some point. We're looking at moving to, you know, Florida. It's long past due at this point. And I think to myself, you know, what will it be like when I can't get in a car and drive 5 minutes down the road to see her, you know, or get in a car and go get a fountain pop, or go to a meeting with her, or just, you know, whatever. And, you know, go to the farmer's market, or tonight she asked me if I wanted to go to dinner and out to a meeting with our sponsor, you know, and I was just like, there will be a day that I can't do that anymore. But today's not the day for that, okay? She's here today. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have borrowed trouble on situations like people, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I used to worry about my mom. Like, what am I gonna do when I have to worry about her being in an assisted living program, or when she's old enough that she has to be in a retirement home? She never made it. She never made it to that age, you know? My cousin and I were talking about that last night, that we used to talk a lot about what were we gonna do at the point when we had to put both of our mothers in a retirement home together, you know? Because that was one of our fears, like, because they were best friends sometimes, but they fought a lot too. We never got to that point, you know? My mom used to say to me often, don't borrow trouble, you know? She used to say it to me all the time. And the reality is, my old sponsor used to say to me, you know, 90% of the things that I worry about are never going to happen. And it's the truth, you know? A lot of what we worry about never even comes to fruition. Your friend may never move. You may never move. You may move first. You know, she may move and you may go visit her and realize you want to move there, you know? She may move and your friendship may grow distant. Or it may grow closer. I've had friends of mine that moved away, and it just made our friendship closer. I just had a friend that moved back. I talked about it at length on my vlog last night. He was a friend that moved away. I didn't think he'd ever come back. We kind of stopped talking over time, and I saw him on Tuesday night. I was like, and we have not stopped texting, you know? My husband loves him, and he knows how, you know, important that friendship is to me, and I'm just like, oh my God, you know? Like, so this friendship has been put back in my life. There's a timing for everything, you know? Don't borrow trouble. Enjoy your friendship with your friend today. You know, one of the things is that when I get in the car with my friend, I am present. When I go on a date with my husband, I am present. When we are sitting here tonight watching Pose, I will be present. Because that is how I give, you know, the gift of being with those people. That's how my friendships are that important to me today, you know? That I am present for that friendship. I'm there for it. And, you know, and they do the same. So don't worry about what's going to happen 2 years down the road. You can worry about that in 2 years, you know? You can worry about that in 2 years. And, but I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. But just remember what my mom always taught me. Don't borrow trouble. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.